What's up, SLAPAFISH community? Welcome back to another of our console videos. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking all 18 pieces of equipment in World of Tanks console. So yes, there is 18 pieces of equipment in console. Not all tanks can get every single piece of equipment. Some equipment pieces are only on certain type of tanks. So, also, do want to go ahead and say that this list is my opinion, so, yeah. So, let's just get started with the worst piece of equipment I think there is. So, I actually did a poll on YouTube, where I did a poll like, hey guys, what piece of equipment do you think is the worst piece of equipment? And y'all said... well, 249 people voted, and 42% said reinforced fuel tanks is the worst piece of equipment in the game. So, yeah. Mine is actually the Advanced Zoom. Now, this is a piece of equipment that is only available in Cold War and only on a select few tanks. That's one of the reasons I put it down so low. But the Advanced Zoom, let me tell you exactly what the Advanced Zoom does. It has a third zoom level to sniper mode that doubles the maximum zoom. It is one of the lower price equipment on my M24 Chaffee for Cold War. It's 265,000 silver to equip. It's one of the cheapest ones. But why is this a piece of equipment? If you look at on Blitz, if you look on PC, this is not a piece of equipment. It's just a setting that you turn on and off. For some reason, we just have this as a piece of equipment, and I recommend never getting it because you have 4 equipment slots. Why would you just want an extra zoom? That just ruins one of your equipment slots. It is not worth an equipment slot. So, I guess we can move on to the 17th worst piece of equipment, which is engine protection. Engine protection does engine durability increase by 50%. It gives your engine 50% more health. This is another one of those pieces of equipment that is only found on certain pieces, only found on certain tanks. And most of them is Russian heavy tanks. So basically, engine protection. That's... okay, so... everybody takes off the fire extinguisher. Some people takes off the med kit, but nobody takes off the repair kit. Nobody does. Also, if you use a large repair kit, you have a cooldown, which is 60 seconds. Repairable. A large, you can 60%. Also, yeah. Like, why would you waste one of your equipment slots for engine protection when you just have a repair kit that cools down in 60 seconds? So, wait 60 seconds? Oh, look, you get your engine back. And also an engine, like 6.0, made the engine, like, getting damaged a lot less. Used to, like, your engine getting damaged would go down to, like, 25% power. I think it's, like, 60% power now, which is insane. Okay, so number 16 is reinforced fuel tanks. This is somewhat like the engine protection. Basically, it gives your fuel tanks 50% more 50% more durability. How often do y'all get set on fire? Like, ever since 6.0, I don't get set on fire that much. And if you use a fire extinguisher, like, especially a large, like, if you use a fire extinguisher, that's a passive boost on both fire extinguisher, either 20 or 25% less chance to catch on fire. Also, there's also usually you can just use the rations, and if you use your enhanced rations and activate it when you're on fire, it puts out the fire quickly. And also, there's crew skills that you could put fire prevention, stuff like that. And you have 9 crew skill slots instead of 4 equipment slots. Not worth 1 equipment slot. Equipment slots are more valuable than crew slots. Okay, so let's move on to number 15, which is reinforced ammo rack. Now, this is just like the other two. Basically, it gives your ammo rack 50% more durability. Now, ammo racks, basically, you'll get ammo rack. If you get hit in the ammo rack, you have a chance of your ammo rack getting damaged. Like, if you get hit in the ammo rack, it's not a guaranteed that your ammo rack is going to get damaged or it's going to blow your top off. Also, if it gets damaged, just use your repair kit. 60%, 60 seconds. Large repair kit. Done. If you notice, a large repair kit, like repair kits kind of just cancel off a lot of these pieces of equipment because everybody uses a repair kit. Everybody dumps a lot more people will dump the fire extinguisher and the med kit. Nobody's gonna dump a repair kit because tracks are a thing and people get tracked and people want their tracks on instantly, so yes. So number 13 is the advanced repair system. This basically repairs your track faster. Repair time reduction by 25%. So basically, anything that's damaged on your tank gets repaired 25% faster. Now, if you're running a repair kit, you can either fix that instantly. Also, the passive boost of a repair kit is 15% repair time in reduction, which is almost your entire equipment slot of the advanced repair system. Also, if you combine that with the enhanced rations, like the advanced repair system is completely useless. Like, really, it honestly is. So, let's move on to number 12. Number 12 is actually the improved ventilations. I didn't really know where to put this one. The ventilations basically gives you 5% to all crew skills. Yeah, commander skill effectiveness increase. This is only really useful if you have 9 skills on your tank. But if you're using rations does 15%. I mean 10% on a passive and 15% on an active. So if you're using rations anyway, like if you're using the consumable rations, which is 3 times more effective than the equipment improved ventilations. Why use improved ventilations? Also, there's a crew skill that does the same exact thing, which I believe does it better. At 10%, yeah, it's double. It's called Born Leader, which does the exact thing as crew vents, but does it twice as good, and you have 9 slots on your crew skills instead of 4. Yeah, think about that. So now, number 11 is the advanced gunling drive. The advanced gunling drive, advanced gunling drive by itself is actually a pretty good piece of equipment. If I can find it. Aiming speed increased by 12%. Now, it's lower on the list. It's at number 11 just because of another piece of equipment on this list. Now, the gun stabilizer is pretty much on every single tank. But the other one, which is advanced gunling drive, is basically on every single tank. But the other one, gun stabilizer, which is a lot better, just outclasses it. Why would you put gunling drive on when you can just put gun stabilizer on? Higher percent, and yeah, accuracy increase. But if you can't put the gun stabilizer on, the advanced gunling drive is a really good option. Like artillery, like if you're sitting still a lot, like artillery or like a tank destroyer, this piece of equipment can come very handy. So let's move. Also, there's a cruise skill that does the same thing. Yeah, you'll notice that cruise skills and stuff like that. Where am I at? Number 10, the traction system. So this is one of the speed equipments that we have in the game. So the traction system, it increases your max speed by 10% and increases your chassis and hull rotation increased by 10%. So basically it gives you 10% more horsepower, which only really affects faster tanks that have you only really notice it at tanks that have higher top speeds. But it's really useful for tanks that have terrible traverse speeds. Now, there's actually the other speed equipment that is just way better than the traction system. Because if you know in the game that horsepower per ton is actually more important than top speed. Because if you don't have the horsepower per ton, then you can't make it to your top speed. Just look at the IS-7 before it got a horsepower per ton, bro. Or just look at the AC-4 experimental. That thing has a 57 top speed, but you only see that thing going 20 or 30 because of how bad the horsepower per ton is. See? You wouldn't increase the top speed because you would never reach it. You would increase the horsepower per ton, which is the advanced powertrain. That's why the traction system is a lot lower than the advanced powertrain. Also, some tanks are actually deadlocked at a certain speed, like the TOG. There's a thing that even if you go down, if you notice on the TOG goes 14. Even if you go down a very steep hill, you usually don't go higher than 15 or 16. Because there's a stopper that makes you not go higher than that. No matter how fast or anything like that. So, just better to go with the advanced powertrain. So, next one is number 9. A lot of people are actually going to be very confused and mad at me because I put this one at number 9, which is halfway through the list, which is enhanced targeted info. Yes, I put the enhanced target info at number 9. Basically, it outlines target tanks and displays the chance of penetration. The penetration one, you just kind of know weak points more and more you play the game. Now, the outline targets is really useful when shooting through bushes or fighting through bushes or trees or anything like that. But when you're getting on maps that don't have bushes, like Sand River or any of these sand maps, outlines are not really that important. Also, everything above this spot, I would definitely switch the enhanced target info out for these. Definitely, and I've done it many times. So let's go on to number 8, which is advanced reload. Basically, if you put this on your tank, you can instantly swap shells without having to reload, without interrupting your reload. Now, there's entire lines that depend on this piece of equipment, like the Storm Tiger line. You like to switch from high explosive, heat, and premium high explosive. This is really good on 4005. It's really good in artillery. It's really good in a lot of tanks. Usually derpy guns or tanks that have long reloads. You can't use it on autoloaders, but anything that has a long reload, or it's a derpy gun, or you really don't want to, or you have okay penetration, but you don't really want to spam premium, so you put this piece of equipment on when you need your premium. You'll just switch instantly. Or just really want to shoot that high explosive round, kill that tank that's running away. It's 5 hit points. Instantly switch. Yeah, the advanced reloader is really nice. So, number 7 is actually advanced suspension. Now, advanced suspension, tractability increased by 50% and damage received from environmental collision reduced by 50%. Now, this improves your track armor by 50%, and you take 50% less to like fall damage. And I think this also, no, this does not include ramming damage. So, if you're a person that likes falling off cliffs, or you're a light tank driver, you definitely really need this one. Or you just want to survive like far like drops. Or if you're in a tank, if you're going like for like a, I don't know, like a super heavy build, like a mouse build that you don't want to get tracked in. And or you're like an E3 or a T95 or something that doesn't have a turret. This is a very good piece of equipment to put on your tank. But it's better on light tanks, so you can just go flying around. This will definitely be a really good piece of equipment when the wheeled light tanks come. So, number 6 is actually the spall liner. I didn't like event suspension and spall liner. I didn't really know which one to put where. I either wanted to put spall liner at 7, the event suspension at 6. So I finally kind of just went event suspension at 7 and spall liner at 6. So the spall liner reduces ramming and explosive damage by 50%. So basically you can ram a tank and you'll take 50% less damage for ramming a tank. Now the other one is you reduce 50% of your hit points taken by high explosive. So if you're a tank that gets hit by a high explosive a lot, or you just want to go hold down and people like shooting your high explosive after you, then this is really good. Or you're fighting 4005s or stuff like that. This also works against artillery. This is a really good piece of equipment to fight against artillery, because you take 50% less damage if the thing doesn't penetrate you. So, good luck. Spall liners. There you go. So, number 5 is another one people are going to get mad at me, is because I put the advanced loader at number 5. Now, the advanced loader, if you don't know what it is, it used to be called gun rammer. And basically, it allows you to decrease your reload time by 10%, which increases your rate of fire, in which the people that think DPM is everything will definitely put this at number 1. Well, let me say this. Advanced loader. We actually have a crew skill called rapid reload, which does the exact same thing. So I actually like to switch between the two. Sometimes I'll put the crew skill and the equipment on, and sometimes I'll just put the crew skill on and just use that equipment slot for something else. And sometimes I'll just use the equipment slot, the advanced loader, instead of the rapid loading. So yeah, it's just a thing, like, there's a crew skill for it. Just use the crew skill and use that spot for something else. Like any of the ones that are higher, or something that you really want to do a build for, but you still want the reload buff, just do the crew skill. I mean, having both of them on the tank is really nice. Especially the other one works for auto loaders, and the equipment doesn't. So, yeah, that's a plus for the crew skill. So, number 4 is the advanced concealment. Now, this is one of the mysterious pieces of equipment in the game. So, before 6.0, it used to be called the camo net, and you had to sit still for like 3 seconds and the camo net would activate. And the camo net only worked if you were sitting still, and it gave you a 10% boost to your camo. Now, what does it tell you? In the description, on game guides and in-game, it says reduce tank detectability. So, I have got this confirmed by Wargaming that the advanced concealment works all the time. You don't have to be sitting still. And the advanced concealment number it provides based on what tank you're playing. And yeah. So advanced concealment is actually nice. it would be higher if we would know the numbers and more descriptive, if it wasn't so mysterious. So, let's go to one that's not mysterious. Number 3 is the advanced optic. It gets your view range, increases view range by 10%. Now, since we don't have binoculars in the game anymore, this is the best view range thing we can actually put on our tank. View range is really, really nice in games, like for mediums, lights, and tank destroyers. And it's good for heavy tanks, if that's your way to play a heavy tank. If you don't want to be a scout mouse, I mean, optics. Especially if you're playing World War II. It's more valuable in World War II. Like, hey, you can't see that target. Let's just spot it out with the advanced optics. So, yeah, if you can't see the target, you want to out-spotting people in World War II is the best thing ever. And using bush mechanics. I'm going to do a video on that. So, let's move on to number 2, which is the advanced powertrain. Now, like I said earlier, the advanced powertrain is the better of the two speed equipments. Basically, it still does the max speed of 5%, which is half of what the traction system does, but it gives you 5% more horsepower. Horsepower is everything. Horsepower per ton is better than top speed. I mean, this one does both. Which horsepower per ton, it makes those tanks that feel very sluggish feel that much better. But it also gives you higher top speed. It's just like this advanced powertrain. Now, number 2 and number 1, I didn't really know which one to put where. Because I thought about it. It's like, okay, which one do I put on more tanks? The advanced powertrain and the gun stabilizer is number 1. It's the only piece of equipment left, but I couldn't realize which one I wanted to do. But I put the advanced powertrain on a lot of tanks. Like a lot of tanks. Especially like slow tanks. Not too much on light tanks, but yeah. So let's go to number 1. Number 1 is the gun stabilizer. Now, the gun stabilizer is basically 20% more accurate, which is completely better than the gun stabilizer, which the gun stabilizer has a 12% speed increase to aiming. But the gun stabilizer makes that completely irrelevant because it has a higher percent at 20% and it has accuracy. So you're more accurate, so your circle is smaller. It's just better. Also, this one works on the move. And it works really good on the move. And, like, it just works. Accuracy is, like, really nice in the game. Honestly. Anyway. That's my list of 18 pieces of equipment. I'm pretty sure this video is very long. So, if you stay to the end, remember to subscribe because thanks. Also remember to SLAPAFISH because of watching that. And peace out. See ya.